Welcome.
This is Mourning the Morning.
This is Mourning the Morning.
I'm Shawn Warner.
I'm Nicholas Niebles, and I don't have any products in my hair, so it's all bouncy and fun.
I do have product in my hair. So you're bouncy and fun, and I'm
Yes, sir!
stiff and boring.
Well, I'm not going to have to cut my hair, am I?
No way, man.
No?
No. In fact,
They're going to let me be in the military with this hair.
Yeah, you can do that now.
Really?
It's all about being special and being an individual now in the military.
No way. Really?
Yeah. Could you imagine how soft we'd get?
How soft we get?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how soft we
Yeah,
get.
we'd be soft.
No. I feel like
come
it
on.
is a misnomer. Is misnomer the right thing? It's a misnomer that people have to be like angry to like make like military and police.
It is.
You don't have to like do that.
Okay. There's different branches of the government or of the military.
I assume there's probably some psychological reason why like you have to be kind of broken down a little bit
and rebuilt. You're being repurposed.
Like they truly are trying to like kind of break certain aspects of your personality.
Don't you think you need that
in order to be in the military?
Yeah. To go up against.
I think the people that don't want that for themselves are usually the ones that go to like officer academy and stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like those are the ones that are like, I'm gonna go to college,
career soldiers,
and then I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Like
career
they don't want
soldiers,
to put their 4 years in.
We need that. We need those individuals
It is
to change
kind of
the science and the psychology and to make us better and stronger. And
it is kind of crazy to think about how you like what going into the military actually is, like what that means. That means that like you're
enlighten us.
Well, I mean, like how often do we think like you give your entire life belongs to the U.S. government
for a period of time?
For a period of time, but
contract is signed.
I understand, and of course there are benefits, but some people obviously some people join the military because they think, well, what options do I have?
I want to see the world. I've never been to a recruiting office, so I'm wondering if recruiting officers, are they really good salesmen? Or
I doubt that they're like grizzled vets.
Yeah. You just want to see a guy in a wheelchair with no arms.
I seen it.
Hey, boy.
I seen it all.
Wouldn't be a good sales
No.
tactic.
Where you going? Get back here. I gotta tell you about my necklace made out of ears.
Are you having a flashback right now, sir?
No, I just made a new necklace made out of ears.
Is that why there's no one else working in your office?
Well, nobody they can hear anyways.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm a
little under the weather.
Yeah. Under the weather. Where did that come from? Under the weather.
We're all under the weather. Don't be obtuse.
Come
on.
That's ridiculous. Sorry.
Just aim all that way. Not towards the bass, though. Not towards the drum set either.
Yeah. We're sitting in front of a beautiful Christmas tree. We got the Christmas tree up in Nick's studio. And, he's going to show. Yeah, he's going to show. There. Oh, no, there it is. Gorgeous. He claims it's a 10-foot tree, but it's clearly not. Oh, you're going to show them all of it. They have no reference.
They clearly see 10 feet.
Oh, they clearly can see 10 feet.
Folks clearly see 10 feet.
Do you guys have your Christmas trees up yet?
Ooh.
Great question.
That's not the topic.
Nope.
Transition, segue. Speaking of Christmas, Shawn, are there any special TV shows around Christmas time that you and your family enjoy?
Game of Thrones.
What?
Why was there never
I like to sit down.
Why was there never a Christmas special?
A nice log on the fire. Nice, watch that first episode of Game of Thrones with my family, my young children.
No, why wasn't there a Christmas special geared towards Christmas in Game of Thrones?
Because that'd be idiotic.
Could you see Khaleesi?
I can see it, though. I can imagine it, though.
Drago's there.
He's like, he's just, his arms are out, just holding tinsel, just. Because he's dead! And then he came back as a zombie. And then she killed him again. Spoiler. Oh, I guess it doesn't work if you say spoiler afterwards.
It doesn't.
My bad. Retroactive spoiler, guys.
There's at least
I just
one
made it right.
family. Retroactive. That's fair.
See, that's what you do,
that.
though. You make a mistake, you apologize, and then you make it right. That's what I did.
That's right.
You're welcome, world.
We want to talk about must-see TV.
Let's see some must-see.
What are you guys watching?
You say Breaking Bad is where it's at. So does a bunch of Emmys and stuff.
Never seen it. Right.
Say that it's where it's at. I started watching it. It is good. I need to go back and watch the whole thing. I just stopped at some point because I got kids, and then Kim doesn't like stuff that has to do with
your
drugs.
Wife won't watch it with you.
She won't really watch it with me.
I've seen the whole series 4 times.
I'm working on her preferences of watching stuff. I'm trying not to push her too hard, but also I'm like, she loves
to open her up to see something that it's
cool stuff.
This is amazing, right?
We just watched Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
And we loved it.
Must see.
But she still was like, I was up all night thinking about some of that stuff. And I'm like, I know. But, obviously it's just TV. It's entertaining.
We're not horror guys either.
I'm not a horror guy. I wouldn't even
put it in. I mean, it is in that genre. The Haunting of Hill House.
For me, it was more like, it's like mystery, thriller, the horror aspect. I don't like gore. And I associate gore and horror, like stabbings and Jason, throw a knife through somebody and then lifting them up, and what I mean. That's all just gore.
That's shock.
I don't like that kinds of, or Saw and Hostel.
I really like the first Saw.
Are there any TV shows that are? Oh, you know what?
I like the first Saw.
A couple shows that have some gore, I feel okay with. Walking Dead.
Okay. I've given up on Walking Dead.
I heard that it got bad. I heard that it got bad. What, third season got bad? Fourth season?
Yeah, I think a lot of people gave up on fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
They have a big aha moment in each season anyway.
Right.
I think people hear that aha moment on social media or something, and they're like, I got to go back because I got to see it. And part of me was that for a long time, and I'm just like,
That's a show that we were watching for a while. We were invested in for some reason. We didn't have cable, so it was hard for us to get that show, and so we would watch it with you guys sometimes, or we'd try and download it or whatever, and it would just be it would be hard to watch. So and then we'd have to wait for it, and then it was on Netflix. So we could watch on Netflix, and then we'd watch a season, but they were behind a season. So
that's pretty gory with zombies and flesh.
But that was all kind of okay because it's so out there, because it's you got those zombies that have no jaw and they're just and her pack mules.
But again, what made that show great was these characters coming together to try to survive this incident, this apocalypse.
Which you just want
you care about them.
You're just can't everybody just work together, please?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was one show that we kind of liked together and just kind of fell off into the wayside. You know how that kind of happens with shows?
Yeah.
You just I don't really feel like ever watching that. You never feel quite in the mood.
It's one of those things, though, that it's 20 years ago, there wasn't this much content. So 20 years ago, I'm still in. I'll still watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's bad. It's just not. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes
there's more options. There's more options, and you kind of have to you do have to be in a mood for something.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I convinced the wife to watch that Hill House show, so that was a lot of fun.
I enjoy watching.
I convinced her to watch this sci-fi show called The Expanse, which is one of the best sci-fi television shows on television right now.
Never heard of it.
You can stream it on Amazon Prime. It's really good. It's great. It's about essentially the future in which Earth, Mars, and people on the asteroid belt are all different factions, and they're about to go to war. You don't like sci-fi. Why not?
I like sci-fi.
Why don't you like
sci-fi as long as it's well
done? You haven't even watched this, but you're giving it a thumb down.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
You're right. I cannot give an opinion on something that I haven't seen.
True.
But we'll see.
I realize that I if I watch a show enough and then think because I'm not already in the second season of The Expanse, but I'm going to go back and watch it from episode 1 with the wife. And I feel I like doing that because I realize I don't have anybody to talk to about it if I'm just watching it while folding clothes or whatever.
That's not a good sign. You don't have anyone to talk to about it.
Because you don't watch sci-fi shows. Well, nobody in my immediate circle of friends, or at least I haven't really put the feelers out. Does anybody watch The Expanse? Mm-hmm. Which I should. Just put that on social media and be like, look, flock to me, my fellow sci-fi fans.
I'm all about it.
I bet my friend Jerry Fuentes watches.
Okay.
I think he likes those kind of things.
Okay.
We seem to vibe on the same stuff we like.
I just have a hard time you watching new programs when shows that you should have watched aren't finished yet.
I need stuff to entertain me. On another thing on Amazon, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
I've seen the trailer for it. Yeah.
My man, just watch the first episode and you're hooked.
Okay.
First of all, they got some great talent. Just on that first episode, I'm like, oh, where did he? Oh, dang, look at her. Oh, look at him. It was all these people that were just like, you know all these actors. They're all fantastic.
Right.
The CGI was amazing. The directing was great. Like, everything was great. The story was fun. Kept you guessing all the way to the end. It's kind of very much like Black Mirror. Mm-hmm. You know, that's, if you're a sci-fi fan, like Black Mirror,
must watch,
a staple.
Must watch.
Are there any
Great
shows?
Storytelling.
Are there any shows that people rave about that you don't like? I tried watching Mad Men. I feel kind of that way about Mad Men. Mad Men seem kind of boring.
It just ended badly. I think a lot of shows
I
get
couldn't
stuck
get
in this
past, like,
rut
the
where they're
first,
trying. Do you think there's a fight between like the corporation that pays for it, the studio?
Absolutely.
Obviously, that's a problem, and they're like, no, we need to keep chugging this money grab out there. And I think like Mad Men for me, I love the storyline. I loved this guy's. What I hated about the guy was every year it was the same thing over and over again.
You said that he would sabotage himself in some way, right?
It was hard to continue watching him do that.
Because he was awful, but you still rooted for him.
You still rooted for him, but no, there became a point where you're like, oh, well, you made your bed, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, I couldn't continue watching it. There were other characters that you wanted to see, but I have a tough time finishing it. I really do. It went through season 8. Maybe I need to go back.
8 seasons.
That's a lot of work. That is
Jeez.
a lot of work, my man.
Jeez.
A lot of work.
8 seasons. That's insane, man. 20 a season? 10 a season?
Oh, probably 8 to 10, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got your hour-long format.
Right. That's cray-cray.
Have you ever seen the whole Sopranos series?
That's another one that I stopped the last season, I think. I just didn't watch the last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like we were into it, then it's like, it started kind of like that. It kind of started being the same thing. Like, people just kept screwing people over. People were dying. Like, it's like, oh, we keep going down the same path. Like, they're fighting. They're not fighting. They're fighting.
That's why I applaud Breaking Bad. They knew they needed to finalize this. We need to wrap this up.
I think writers do need to take stock. They need to be like, do we have more story to tell? Are we going somewhere? Like, you do have to have some, like, you do have to, in your mind, I think, have some destination. You know what I mean? So whatever that destination may look like, I think it probably has to be what. Yeah. There are some shows, though, that I like that are in like their 14th season.
Like Supernatural?
Yeah!
Children's television.
I love Supernatural.
Children's television.
It's my guilty pleasure, and I'm not guilty at all.
So telling.
Unabashedly.
So you admit that it's a guilty pleasure.
I know that it's campy. I know that it's campy. Right. Just like Buffy was campy, just like Angel was Buffy, campy. Yeah. All those kind of shows. I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch growing up. Listen, Joan Hart, if you're out there, hit me up. We'll just get coffee. I got a wife. I'm happy.
Was that a one-camera show or a sitcom?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah.
That was a sitcom.
I thought it was a sitcom.
Multicam.
Yeah. That's crazy. I liked some of the single camera shows. Like you mentioned, I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, great.
That's a good.
So funny. So
good.
It's
the Blackish format, essentially. It's a little bit of somewhat of the Modern Family kind of style, but it doesn't have like the interview style like The Office. But it's like, have you seen Blackish?
Yeah.
It's that same kind of single cam kind of thing. It's interesting seeing these, how you have like, it's the exact same show, but just because the characters are different, slightly different relationships. They even have like the same thing where she's at home and then she's at work. Same thing for him in Blackish. Is it Anthony Anderson?
I think so, yeah.
He's at home, he's at work. Like, it shows like that dynamic.
Right.
So it's just like, but it's cool to see that different. It's because that, I don't even know her name, but that
nominated every year.
Is it really?
Almost every year, yeah.
That's a great show. That's
Modern Family, Blackish. Those are great shows, yeah.
Has I'm Sorry been nominated? No.
Well,
it's just new. It's brand new, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I was like, that's what I thought you were talking about.
I don't see it getting nominated. It's
not
going to get nominated.
It's not smart or new enough. It's not edgy enough. It's not. There's some surreal stuff that I think Blackish does that's really cool. You know, like the way that they kind of throw like different music and how they use voiceover and how they. I think they even do some like surreal like flashes of like. You know what I mean? Like, well, where it'll show like him interacting with his daughter in like this supernaturally awesome way. You know, like just like. You know, and then like they're like, "That's why I love him," and he'll like flash to like them in the future about like, "Oh." So like
they show like visual representation of
their
interaction.
Of those kinds of things. So like they pump like it's the surrealism of it that you're leaning into, which I think like Modern Family doesn't have. It's just like every situation that Phil Dunphy gets himself into, you have to believe is an actual situation that somebody could get themselves into. Whereas if you use that surreal aspect of it, that a lot of shows like Community does, where you kind of start to question what actually is real.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, wait a second, who's all seeing that? You know? I think that's fun and gives you a lot of, like, opportunity to mess with story and stuff. I like this show to take me on a ride, to show me stuff I haven't seen before.
Oh, I like new. I like unique.
Do you ever get a little apprehensive about starting some new show? You're like, what if everything out there is crap, man? What if this sucks? You know, like... Yeah,
I tried Homecoming, I was telling you. And
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it's
which
just...
she's America's sweetheart, of course. But...
She's good, acting's good. I know we live in a super fast-paced society, but when it comes to my entertainment, I don't mind being slowed down.
Okay.
But this is slowed down to the point where it's... I don't mind a pace to be deliberate if it's going to have a payoff. I don't see where the payoff is going to be. They're 30-minute episodes. They're like short 32-minute episodes. It's on Amazon Prime. And I've only seen one episode. I just don't know. It feels like a show shouldn't feel like homework. Do you know what I mean? The score's really weird. It almost like, it sounds like a score you'd hear in Saw movie. But it's for this like what, drama. I'm like...
It's a... I don't even know what the premise of it is.
She deals with soldiers that have PTSD.
It's about her, though?
Yeah.
And so it's about her dealing with their stress?
I don't even know if I can watch a second of it. Like, it's going to be...
As a premise, it makes me feel like... Does she have PTSD?
No, not that I could tell.
I mean, to me, it makes me feel like, well, what is the personal...
I don't think it's going to get nominated for anything. I could be wrong, but these are also one of those shows that are like Emmy bait, too.
Because it's got Julia frickin' Roberts in it.
Right.
When has she ever started a TV show? You know what I mean?
They're all doing it now, bro. Like everyone's jumping off
that's
because it's well-made stuff.
That Jack Ryan one with Jim Halpert from The Office with John Krasinski. You didn't like it?
I haven't even tried it. It doesn't even look
I enjoyed it. It was like a 24 kind of vibe.
I could see him with a gun, and all of a sudden he's like looks into the camera.
Does little.
Oh man!
Just mugging for the camera. He's like, "Get down! Get down!"
Dwight Schrute comes flying in.
Beats by Schrute.
Monday Night Football. That's a must-see.
No,
must-see TV.
No, it's not. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm not counting that as actual television.
I'm not either. I'm just
good.
See your reaction.
Great.
Sports, you despise them so much.
I don't despise
them. You try and hide the fact that you don't. Well, you just be honest about it. You would rather do a million other things than sit and watch a sporting event. Have you ever been to a sporting event?
Of course.
Oh, okay. What have you been to? Baseball game?
I took the wife to a Dodgers game last year.
So that's it. One sporting event, your entire...
I've been to Dodgers games. I've been to Angels games. I've been to like local, AAA baseball games.
Those are fun. I love local.
What's really fun is we have the Ontario Reign, the hockey team down here.
Dude. Some of the best games I've ever seen.
Man. Those are some fun games.
So much fun.
No, I don't hate sports. I hate the some of the things associated with sports and how tightly people cling to them. Like, think about it. Like,
I don't like that either.
Like, sports are responsible for a huge political and social argument in this country of like whether or not somebody can kneel during the anthem. You know what I mean? You've got all kinds of stuff like that are associated with sports. That you also have like the concussion stuff. Was it CTE? Is that what it's called? Stuff like that the NFL has turned a blind eye to for such a long time. As well as like you have like the Ray Rice thing that they turned the blind eye to. Like, oh, we don't have a video. We don't have a video. It's like, bitch, you could have had the video for a while. You're the NFL. Like, you just didn't press for it because you didn't want to see it, or you saw it and just decided, man, this is bad. Like,
so you're taking a small subset of things that
happens,
and you're like, this is why I don't like.
No. These
sports.
are symptoms. These are symptoms of a larger problem.
Don't watch tennis. What's going on in tennis?
I enjoyed tennis.
Because Serena Williams yelled at the official. Now you're not going to watch tennis.
I don't think she should have yelled at the official. I think that obviously you should compose yourself a little bit better than that. If those kinds of things are interesting, it makes me wonder like what's going on there. Mm-hmm. So I think you should be aware of like sports and like how important they are to some people, and I don't think people should be oblivious really about anything. If the information's out there and you come in contact with enough, like you should at least have some basic knowledge. You shouldn't be like, what's a football? What's a quarterback?
What about MMA?
Oh, yeah, I love me some MMA.
Name one MMA. Who's the champ right now? Bantamweight.
Oh, I have no idea.
Love me some.
But I'll watch it. I don't seek it out, but I'll watch
the documentary the other day. Speaking of CTE,
dude,
they have a problem in that sport as well.
See,
people just...
Oh, of course.
3 and 4 ounce gloves on.
I would think that, like... Maybe because it's not as repetitive over a long period of time, would it be better for MMA than football, or is it about the same? Because no matter what, you're getting
the injury
smashed. Yeah, like you're getting smashed in the face and the head.
Even when they're training, you know what I mean? Like they gotta.
I mean, nobody's getting smacked full force in the head when they're training, are they?
No, I would hope not.
They're getting tagged, but they're not.
Yeah, I would hope. But all that,
you and I should spar sometime.
You want to spar it out?
Nope.
What if I said we're just wrestle? Take the other martial arts out.
Ass.
You say we're just going to wrestle.
I would whoop your ass.
But I would do it.
Yeah, well, I would totally do anything that I know that I'll win at.
Thumb wrestling?
You really want to do this right now?
You look scared, dude.
Oh, I look scared.
I had my hand out there for like 5 seconds. I had it out there for like 5 seconds. And
I'm sorry, were you tired? Was your hand starting to shake as you were holding it up? I think you were shaking a little bit when you held your hand up. You were like, oh, I don't know. And then as soon as there was a little tiny window, I just wanted to maybe have a conversation about rules. I don't know. I don't know what kind of rules you play by.
It's called stalling. Biding your time.
Wow. Looks like that thumb's holding up a can.
Sorry, man. You missed your window.
My thumb's holding up a can, too. A can of whoop ass.
Oh, you missed your... Why hasn't anyone made a soft drink or an energy drink called can of whoop ass?
I'm sure there probably some has, right?
I haven't seen it. When you go to the store now, there's just as many energy drinks as there is soft drinks.
I used to drink those things all the time because my brain needs that stimulation. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes! But... no more.
Yeah, they're pretty bad for you.
You feel jittery and stuff.
Bad for you.
That's probably why your hand was shaking like that. Or fear. Mm. You know what I need in a TV show?
Nick and Shawn.
Well, yes, obviously. Yeah. But I want a sci-fi. I don't want a sci-fi show. I want a fantasy show. I want a fantasy show that is good. I've seen shows like, I haven't given like that show like Merlin on NBC, I think, or CBS, I can't remember. Mm-hmm. I haven't given that a shot, but it looks like, I've seen the trailer, I'm like,
not good, yeah.
Doesn't look good.
Okay.
I need, like, what level of, like, Lord of the Rings quality show is what I would want for a fantasy show.
But that's Game of Thrones. $10 million an episode budget.
I want something funner than that. I want something more fun than that.
What do you mean more fun?
Game of Thrones is good, but it's so far adult. Like, it's just like True Detective. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine than True Detective. So I'd love to have like a comedy,
True Detective
fantasy.
Is too melodramatic.
Yeah. Like, what is a show? What comedy has like a high production value?
big time comedies. Obviously, Modern Family is a big deal
for sure. But even
they
that,
have a
like,
huge budget.
I'm sure that they do, but most of that's probably just going to salaries. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like the production value of what they're doing.
Where it was going.
No, I'm saying like as far as the production value.
What kind of comedies do you need? You know, comedies.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I want to say like Firefly, for example. Firefly looked fantastic.
It's good.
You know, the comedy was clearly there, and it was in a setting that you don't normally see comedy. I want to see a fantasy show like.
It's still for children. It's not a. It's not.
I would storm out of here faster if I wasn't sore.
As you grow, Nick, and you wise up, don't you want to be stimulated emotionally, and don't you want to see like that's just it's for children. It's just we can play Candyland, but wouldn't you rather play Cards Against Humanity? I don't understand.
You can go.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You see the
fornicate with yourself, Shawn, because yeah. Because
I agree with you with Firefly. It's a well done show. Love production value.
No, these are fantastical shows. I love shows like that.
But you're like a little kid.
Yes, I am. Of course I am. Why not?
I'm surprised you don't have a
Shawn, most of my hobbies include playing.
But that's music.
Playing. It's all play. It's all play. This is what do you think this is? This is play.
This is play.
This is play. We play. This is all. I just want to play all day. I don't want to work. I just want to bang out until my day. I don't want to work. I don't want to.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's just red light.
If someone's in there, all of a Once Upon a Time.
Get out of here with that whack. Once Upon a Time crack, man. I'm telling you right now, that shit is bad. So bad. Like, I can't stand if, like, Kim's watching a show, and then, like, that's what you're talking about, pacing of a show, right? Like, you said that show was too slow for you, right? I'm over here looking at Once Upon a Time. That show is too fast, man. Like,
everything's just coming at you.
Yeah. It's like, one episode, Alice in Wonderland. Next episode, Pocahontas. Next episode, Little Mermaid. I'm like, holy jeez, bro.
There's time for things to breathe.
Like, you need to, like,
time for
build some story,
right?
man. Show me some relationships.
What
Don't just throw Mulan at my face.
Remember, to go back to our improv fundamentals.
Yeah.
You need levels. You need highs
and lows.
Because those highs are they feel even better when you set them up with the low.
That's that show Mom with, what is her name? She's amazing. Janie. Allison Janie.
Mm-hmm.
She's fantastic in that. It also has
network sitcom. That's a network sitcom. So good.
She's really, really fun. The way that they handle those, like, it's because it's about these women who are they're recovering drug addicts.
They're addicts.
You know, and they're like trying to figure out, like, navigate having a kid and that relationship, and you know, like the mom used to be like. And she still is, so it's like, but just without the drugs.
Right.
It's crazy because it's like also you realize like, oh yeah, she was nuts before drugs. Drugs just, you know, emphasize like her nutsness.
Yeah.
But like that show does a great job of building up those like really tense moments. You know what I mean? Where like they had an episode where it's bound to happen. They had an episode where they had a friend who OD'd. You know, who was in recovery, but then overdosed.
Yep. You
know, which happens a lot because you think you can handle the same amount as you used to after recovery, but you can't because your body's now kind of flushed it out of that.
That show set it up well because when you remember the sitcoms of the 80s and even the early 90s where they would try to throw in something very serious into something that's clearly comedy.
Who did it the worst?
Oh, God.
Family Matters was awful at it, like with Steve Urkel getting drunk accidentally falling off the roof.
That was ridiculous.
All this Stefan Urkel, like, there was drama because, he introduced the whole, like, cool Stefan Urkel guy. Right? And then...
He was a little too cool.
But they tried so hard to make him cool. They probably should have just made him normal. Oh,
probably.
There's a wild Ruby in the background.
Oh, man. You can see her in her natural habitat.
Right. Ruby, do you need something, my dear? We will in just a minute, my man.
Life of a parent.
Yes. Family Matters was great at doing these like weird, wacky,
Is that show syndicated?
Morals.
Syndicated?
Still? Maybe.
It's not still on,
maybe
is it?
like Nick at Night or something.
It can't be.
You know, because they used to do like the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
It can't be good.
It had to be. It had to have been good enough. And honestly,
again, that goes
like
back
a lot
to
of the stuff
content
has to.
It wouldn't last today. Not even.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think people like if Family Matters never came about, it would last today because it would be something new that nobody's seen before. You know what I mean? Obviously, other shows built on that. You know, Family. It was Full House with African American people.
Right.
You know, with a different story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it also showed black people in a different light. It showed, you know, obviously he was a cop, so that was like showing an African American in a position of authority. Mm-hmm. Parents are together. The kids were doing.
He was always mad.
The kids were doing like well in school. It was, you know, it's like a mix between like Full House and the Cosby Show.
Right.
You know, so it's like it showed that like African American people could be affluent and you know work their way up, and so showing that is a step forward, I think, in entertainment. You know,
what's the one show that people need to be watching right
now? Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. If you haven't seen the first season, it is
good.
Incredible.
So good. Isn't it out yet for second season
much
yet?
Fun.
Or is it like the end
tonight?
Of this month? Is it really?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow night it comes out.
I'm gonna watch that.
We're gonna watch the whole thing. We saw season 1, right?
Yeah. So good.
Are you a binge watcher?
Oh yeah.
See, I like to, because then after the end of it,
Kim and I watch shows. Do you pause while you watch?
To talk sometimes. It depends, if it's like a show like that, it's comedy, so you can. Because there's a couple times, there's
give yourself a laugh break.
Not only a laugh break, but there was. I'll never forget. It was like episode 8, Miss Maisel. No spoiler alert, but they're just talking. The two main characters, her and her agent, her friend, and they're sitting there talking, and it's a nice little 2 or 3 minute scene. And when it was done, I paused it and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That is a well-crafted. They're just two people having a conversation, but it was so impactful. I'm like, that's how you make good content. Like, it was incredible. I laughed. I think I started to cry. I'm like, you saw the relationship. There was tension. There was a conflict. They were trying to resolve all of it in just this short little scene. I'm like, that's how you do television. I was so impressed.
And there was a lot of it that was unpredictable. There was a lot of it that was like stuff that you haven't seen before in the show. You know what I mean? You're like, whoa, this is interesting and fun.
She's really good. The lead is amazing.
Oh, she is amazing.
Check that out.
Did she get anything for that first season? Were there Emmys?
There was.
I don't see. That's the other thing too. I love film and TV, but I don't follow any of the award stuff.
Yeah,
I probably should start.
A ton of nominations for the show. I think 13 in total or something. Yeah, very well crafted.
When are those seasons? When are like Emmys and the award season?
We're in award season.
Are we?
From here through March.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So all of the stuff that was
Emmys, Oscars,
2018 stuff?
For 2018, yeah.
What's the timeline for that? It's not just like the end of the year to the beginning of the year or whatever, right? It's like it's not like
you see
like November to February of like, you know what I mean?
That's why you'll see a movie that will come out like for Oscar consideration, and it has to be, I think, released like in so many theaters before it can be nominated. So they'll put it out there for March. You don't release a blockbuster movie in March. It just never happened. I mean, January, February, March, they were dumping grounds for movies that you knew weren't going to do very well. But Marvel can stand on its own.
Marvel, they can do whatever they want, right? Like, that's the point. They're like, we're going to release this, you're going to watch it whenever.
That's the point. I think everything's getting skewed. And
because do you feel like it's because there's so much power in these tentpole, like,
especially for Marvel. People are going to go see that. People are going to go see
Everyone's going to go see it. I saw the trailer. It was dope. Did you see the trailer? You didn't.
Nothing stands out.
You're
Nothing
so hard
stands
to
out.
please.
I'm not. I'm sure it'll be good. I love the Marvel Universe, so I'm sure it'll be good.
All right.
Trailers people are good. People should get awards just for making trailers.
I think there are trailer awards.
You think so?
I think there are trailer awards.
There might be. I doubt that.
There's got to be. There's trailer editing is something else.
Oh yeah.
Just leave it. Okay.
But sometimes they can be misleading.
Leave it alone. Just leave it. Just leave it. It's fine. Just leave it. Just leave it and walk away. It's fine. It's just wrapping paper.
I'd love to see a beating. So
she's about to beat me
we
up.
both recommend, and we sign off on
Miss Maisel.
Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we came to that same. That's sick, dude.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Agreed. Absolutely
Great show.
agreed.
Can't wait.
But I just need to write it. That's what I need to do. I need to write a fantasy show that's like not quite like the whole like Knights of Badassington or
isn't there some animated series that
probably
fits that criteria that you're looking for?
No, man, I'm looking for something that's like Firefly, but dragons and magic and swords and stuff.
And today with all the
CGI and technology out there, you could do it.
It would be a lot easier to do.
Easy, and it would look good. I just don't know what the whole premise would be. Like everything's been done, right? With that, there's always like an evil lord.
I would think it would have to be infinite when it comes to fantasy.
You know what it should be? It should be Dennis's story of like that really self-aware world where everybody's kind of like knows they're in a fantasy world.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
We're gonna have to talk to Dennis about that. Maybe.
Yes, we will.
Adapt his books. If he'll ever just publish Dennis.
If he'll ever just come back.
Baby, come back!
There is something, I don't know the words.
Baby,
Dennis,
come back! Oh, Shawnathan. Sometimes I think about our lot in life, and I'm grateful. Grateful for good friends, healthy family, friends that would never consider ever coming to your house ill.
I'm actually feeling better as the show wears on.
Probably because I'm absorbing your sickness.
You are. If I had known that right from the get-go, I'd have just been draped on you the entire time.
Oh, what curse have you befallen upon me, sir? How dare you? How dare you, sir? Send your virus elsewhere. Or don't. It's fine. Okay? And she's got to find somebody or someone or something. You need your Frodo. You get your Frodo. There's certain archetypes that you generally need, right?
You can ask your children when they get here.
I don't like that you shit on these kind of shows. These are fun shows. Adults can like these kind of shows. I watched Voltron with Ruby. Voltron's a fantastic show on Netflix. The storytelling in that show is amazing. All right. I'm telling you, man. What is it that you... Is there something wrong with me liking shows that
you can like whatever you're
saying? Like, there's okay. So what is it? Tell me like it is then.
It's just who you are. No one's trying to change who you are. You don't like sports. You're into kids television shows.
Kids television shows. It's not kids television. Like Star Trek, Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine, Voyager.
I think you are emotionally stunted. Why you can't? I think there's a problem where you can't.
What?
Yeah. Where you can't. You don't want to actually open your mind up to these other things because they're too real. I think that's a problem. Yeah, because they hit too close.
There's probably a little
too close to home. Yeah,
probably a little escapism.
Nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying some of those things aren't.
Well, that's the thing. You say that like, oh, these are children's shows, as if there is something wrong with that.
You would rewatch like Supernatural.
I've actually been considering it. Starting from season 1, episode 1, just starting from the beginning, and then writing a spec script and seeing about getting a writer job there.
That's a great idea. That's a more mature approach to doing it.
Yeah, because I like to play, and I realized that I want to play for a living.
Then do that.
So that's what I want to do.
Do that.
Play.
And I think you do appreciate other stuff, but it takes a lot for you to really get there to stuff that's critically acclaimed.
I can appreciate stuff like that. I can watch stuff.
Because right now you're jumping through the AFI, you and the wife are trying to do the
AFI
trying
top
to 100. And these
got derailed by you. You came over, we were trying to watch.
One time, I just
it was the first one. First me whenever you get a chance.
You got it. You still haven't watched it? Well, that's on you.
And then, and then you came over and we were watching, we started watching it and you're like, this is crap. This is awful.
It's not crap.
Yes, what were your words?
No, I didn't say crap.
What were your words?
I would have never said crap.
What were your words, Shawn?
I think I said dated was the word.
Obviously. It's old, Shawn. You ever tell your
stuff
grandparents they're
old
dated?
Stuff. Old stuff can...
Nah, I don't want to go see grandma. She's getting on in years, and I'm like hanging around old stuff.
Like Rose... I almost gave it away. I'm
sorry. Rosebud?
I almost gave it away.
I
almost gave it away.
I know it's a freaking sled. Like, that's been enough reference in pop culture to know what that is.
Not everyone knows that.
Same thing with The Shining.
But that's still like #1, I think, on the AFI top list. And
because you have to understand it's coming from the American Film Institute.
Even he said it wasn't his best work. Even Orson Welles himself said it wasn't his best work.
But he was a nutball too.
Totally.
Right.
He was out there.
Let's be honest.
He was out there. But you need that kind of individual in mind to make greatness happen.
I don't think you do. You just need to work hard.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
You do need to work hard, but
if there are no other factors,
they'll just always continue working hard.
Well, then that's what they want to do. It's not like those people are working hard,
I'm not
trying to get up and then not getting up. If they're trying to get up and they're not getting up, then they need to change something and they need to work harder about doing something else.
We're talking about something else. That's perseverance, not working hard. I haven't read that. You were telling me about it. Yeah.
Ruby, stop it. Ruby, you want to come say bye? No?
What's your favorite show, Ruby? What's must-see?
What's your favorite TV
television in your world?
Tell me in my ear. Come here.
Peppa Pig.
Come on. Tell me in my ear, quick. Quick. We're going to say bye, quick.
Speaking of must-see TV, the creator of SpongeBob.
Come on, quick.
Recently passed away.
I know, in his 50s.
ALS, man. That
sucks.
Tough. That affected my son quite a bit. We grew up on that show.
You told your son that the creator of SpongeBob died?
Not Jace.
Oh, Ian. I was like, what? I was like, Jace, I know you're only 7, but
you could tell him that
creator
if he
of
asked.
SpongeBob died. If he asks, he's like, is this guy still alive? The guy who created... No, he's going to ask, is SpongeBob is alive?
Right.
We're going to actually meet SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
You want to wrap presents? We got to go wrap presents with this little kid. She just bought presents today for her siblings.
We've done this long enough.
I guess so.
It was a little rough today. It was good. Good conversation.
You think everyone is rough. You think every single episode is rough. You're like, well, I guess that one could have been better. I don't know. My energy was weird.
My energy was weird. Like I was tired and yeah. And I apologize. That's on me.
No, you don't have to apologize. Stop it right now. This is one of those things that if you would have never said anything, nobody would have known or said anything.
Oh, you don't think
Other than the fact that you look like
you're
literally dying.
Do I? Nick, am I?
I don't know, but don't touch me. I'm not going to thumb war you. You're sick.
Oh, there's always an excuse. That's the second time I've extended my hand.
Give me a second.
That's the second time I've extended my hand to try and play some thumb war. I can't do... Is that latex?
Yep.
I can't do latex.
Are you allergic to latex?
Yeah.
Any warmer?
Persephone? Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Nicholas. Matthew. Nieblis.
You ever gone by Matt?
No.
No?
That's one of my names in one of the film things that I was in.
Yeah.
Just because they were like, you don't have a name in the script.
What's your middle name?
Like, what do you want a name? And I was like, sure, let's go by my middle name.
Yeah.
Nieblis. And I'm like, no. I said it right.
Right.
But like she said it like how somebody's like, oh, do you have any apples? Apples. Oh, apples. Like she said it like that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. No. Why are you correcting my?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, help, even share this video.
I think that latex is getting to me. I know the sun is. Oh, no. I can't. Why can't I do it when it's reversed?
Ready? Hold on. Wait,
Look, I still can't do it.
Wait,
here we go. Help me.
Hold on. It burns!
Stop doing that! Oh, these guys, they're doing bits again. What is their problem?
That's it.
With
We're
the bits?
done with them.
Oh, I can't.
Mourn this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, are they doing us? Oh, they're doing us.
I like when they do
I like when they
us.
do us. Jeez. It's 12 o'clock. We're doing drinking.